latest episode of the Lisa Pezik Show. I am so honored to have world champion martial artists, mom and dad, fellow couplepreneur, husband and wife team that are showing up so big in this time when we are filming this podcast. So we are still in COVID time, pandemic land, where a lot of businesses are going into scarcity mode. They're worried that their doors are going to close, and are their students and clients going to stay with them? And the reason why I wanted to have these two amazing people, I'll tell you in a minute who they are, on my podcast, is because they have been a shining example of what a service-based, heart-centered, put your students and your clients first, the way they run their martial arts school. They are like paving the way for how it's done in this time. So let me welcome to the show Ashley Perry Wood and Gord Wood, who are owners of Evolution Martial Arts. Guys, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you very, very much for having us, Lisa.
Oh my God. So Ashley's a world champion. Like, she doesn't mess around. I know y'all can't see her right now, but she's got blue and pink hair. And I've never met a woman who is more nurturing and loving, and like every mom out there that puts their kid in activities, you want that extension of you to know that your kids are being cared for. And she is like that shining example of just showing up in that most perfect way for the kids to be unique, be themselves, but push for the things and the goals that matter. I mean, you didn't get to world champion by sitting on the couch and, hoping and wishing and dreaming that came to you. I'm sure there was a lot of training and discipline that had to go into being a world champion.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you to say. You got to set those goals for yourself. Continue to work and push yourself to your limit. I'm kind of tearing up because
she is the most dedicated person I've ever met for training. When she was a student, she would train 3 or 4 hours a day and then go home and train another couple of hours. She's driven to be the best she can be. I'm super proud of her. She's actually won the world championship 8 times, and is she's amazing. And she's on top of that, she does everything else. So that's
rock
pretty
star,
cool.
like rock star mom that can run the family and run the school. And I know we're going to talk about Chance. I'm so excited to talk about your little boy in a little bit. But I want to tell you guys about Gord too. So Gord, who's sitting right beside her, he is like, Gord is he dresses up as Batman when they have some classes for the kids, and he's so fun. And he's so, Gord, again, you guys can't see him, but he's like this bear. He's like the Papa Bear that like holds it down and is the grounding and the root system for the school and for his family and for the community. Because your school, we were talking about that before we got on, the school is a family. It's not just what goes on when you walk in those doors to take class and you leave. Our son who is in the school, and Eric and I who take classes, we do it as a family in the whole school. We've seen that ripple effect that happens outside of the school and in the community and the people that we meet. And Gord, I think you do a really great job of holding that safe space for people to come in and really be themselves and just have fun. But again, go back to what martial arts was created for. And we really get the feeling of why we're doing what we're doing.
Thank you very much. Any chance I can to dress as Batman is, I'll take it. Having said that, our goal is to be we want the kids to have fun. We want to teach them things that are real, for all the students, really. So, but every chance I get to dress as Batman, I'm going to take it.
It's the best. And even though the kids know that it's you, they believe that it's Batman. Like Oliver's like, yeah, it's Batman teaching class. He loves it. So tell me, before we dig into how the studio came about, how did you guys meet? Like, I'm so curious to know this story.
A interesting story.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Ashley was a student. I was a teacher. We were always just friends, to be honest. And as she later became an instructor, and we were still just friends. We hung out as friends all the time. At some point, she was introducing me to some of her friends. So that was different. And she asked me to introduce her to some of my friends, but none of my friends were good enough for her. It was weird.
Oh.
I couldn't find anybody who was good enough. And then one thing led to another. We're hanging out a lot, and one day we're deeply, madly in love and haven't looked back.
Oh, and how many years ago was that?
How long have we been married? We got married in what, 08?
Yeah, we just had our 10-year anniversary. So
Yeah.
We've known each other for a long time, but I'd say about 12 years ago.
12 years is when we got married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
Yeah. So
I think it's that long.
I know, time flies, eh? And you have this amazing little boy.
Thank you.
And it's funny when I was like, what do I believe about Chance? And I was like thinking about that, and I was like, again, he's such a perfect blend of the two of you. I'm like, Chance is a little boy in size, meaning he's like a half pint little dude, but his heart and his spirit is ferocious. So tell me a bit. Yeah, tell me a bit. I'm like getting emotional. Jeez Louise. Tell me a bit about Chance.
Well, when we got married, we were fairly busy at the school and running those things, but we knew that we wanted to have a child, and we always wanted to have a boy, actually. And when we got kind of serious, we did all the charts and graphs and temperatures and all that, and let's do this, and it wasn't happening, to be honest. So a few of our friends said, just relax.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. And then it happened. And Chance was born on September 5th, 2014, and we were thrilled. He was a little bit small when he was born.
He was 15 days early, so
yeah, there was that.
A little bit of a setback,
but we were thrilled. He seemed healthy and all that kind of thing. And then, of course, I'm just completely blessed to have him. But then we found out that he was born with something called cystic fibrosis, and we didn't know what that was. And we had some good friends. One of our friends is a nurse, and she kind of like walked us through it and all this kind of stuff. He's doing incredibly well. He's just, like you said, he's crazy strong and fit. And again, so that's is what it is. We work every day to try to find a cure for that, for him and for thousands of others.
Yeah.
Chance is a bright, smart, fun little, he loves dressing up. He loves pretending to be Iron Man or a stormtrooper.
The reason why we put him into acting and modeling, because there's something we don't even know. There's something about him that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you said the word ferocious. He loves competing, and it's not like he's a bad sport, but he hates to lose and he gets furious when he does.
He's very much like his mommy in that way. We're very, very competitive, and we feel like if we're going to do something, it better be at 100% best level. We don't settle for anything less. We're very much the same that way.
Yeah.
And that, I wish maybe we can change that in this world. Like, I know when kids get frustrated when they lose, sometimes as a parent, you want to be like, oh, you tried your best. But me, I'm like, I get mad when I lose. Like, you think about us as adults, nobody likes to lose. Like, Oliver would do the same. We'd be racing, and I would like not let him win all the time, and he would throw himself on the ground and be so mad. And I'm like, buddy, losing, I know, like, nobody likes to lose. And with the participation trophies, we've given competition a bad name. And competition is a beautiful thing.
No, I think
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I think losing is harder when you've worked really hard for it. So like for Chance and I in our training, we train and train and train, and we'll train for months on end and work super hard to get to a tournament and lose. To us, that's a lot of work we put in, right? If Chance and I are playing soccer in the front yard,
right,
you know, really competition. It's fun. It's just something we do for exercise. But when it comes to putting in that time and that effort and that training, yeah, of course you get frustrated, you get upset, right?
Because it matters. Yeah, because it wasn't just a hobby. Yeah.
All the kids to kind of know, and all their students or anybody who competes, like absolutely, you're training to do you're training to win. But at the end of the day, you do your best. So you kind of have to, if you do win with grace. If you don't finish where you want to finish, to say lose if you want, then do that with grace. And that's kind of our approach. We have a competition team where a lot of students compete. We tell them all the time, you're training to come in first, but if you come in fifth, we're proud of you. You did your best. That's all anyone can ask. We are equally proud of you no matter where you place. And the competition is only ever with yourself.
Yes.
And it's good to have that fire inside and be driven to succeed. And sometimes that comes out as, I didn't win. And we get that. But let that fuel you to do even better next time.
For our competition team, we actually never use the word lose. You never lose, because you're always, through your training, you're always improving, you're always getting better. Whether you're the top that day or not doesn't matter. You're either kind of winning or you're learning or you're improving. So we actually don't use the word lose in our competitions because you don't lose. Mm-hmm. You're never a loser, right? You're always a winner because you're always putting in that time to train.
Totally. Same with our family. We don't use the word failure. We use the word miss. That was just a miss, meaning that you get to do it again. You get to try again. You get to work hard and present yourself again. And you're the only one that gets to go, I'm not doing this anymore. Within reason, though, because, we had a situation with little man, Oliver, at your school where he trained and trained and trained and trained and trained and was ready to get one of his, testing to prove that he had been working and could do his form and remember it, and completely froze. Like deer in headlights, oh my God, blanked. And he didn't get his stripe. And he came home and he was like, I'm never doing martial arts again, and I'm not going back, and I'm not training, and I'm not done, and I hate this. And it was like drama from a kid who was no drama. And I said to him, 3 days. This was like on a Wednesday, I think it was. And Saturday he could, stripe test again. And, so of course he said, I'm not doing it. And I said, 3 days, give me 3 days. Let's work hard. Let's set a goal. Let's go on Saturday and let's reassess it. And we worked hard for 3 days. And Saturday, sure enough, went, did it, nailed it, got it. So I think that's that delicate balance, especially that you guys do at your school, that even when people say I quit, you push them a bit. You don't let them give up because you see the potential in them. And I knew that by telling him, go back, try it again, he would be met with that same kind of energy of, you can do it, don't give up. And now he loves it. Now he was just talking the other day about being a world champion and the whole bit. So talk to me about that balance of, pushing the kids in a healthy way and that standard, and not letting them give up, but also balancing feelings and emotions when you're working with these little beans.
Okay. Well, first off, I just want to say you're a super mom, a super parent for doing that. I wish we had more parents like you everywhere, to be honest. It is a knife. It is a knife edge to kind of balance between having fun and having integrity in what we do. And that's important for the students to learn. Everyone has moments where they feel like quitting. Everyone has moments when they're they hit a plateau, if you like. And those are learning moments. Those are times we tell all the people, the only time you fail is if you give up.
Yep.
If you haven't given up, you didn't get your stripe that day, but you can get it the next day. You have the next time to do it, and the next time, and you keep pushing forward. And that's really the only way to get a black belt. when we equate black belt to excellence, and that's the only way to get excellence in life and anything. So having somebody at home, a parent, a mentor, to help with that, a student absolutely succeeds on their own, but there's a lot of people around them supporting them, helping them, pushing them, challenging them. And again, you're a super parent for doing that. If we challenge a student, it's because we care about them. If we just said, oh yeah, it's good enough and here you go, then we don't really care about that person. And hopefully most people can see that.
And it's all life lessons, right? Throughout life, you're not going to get everything you want right when you want to get it. There's going to be different obstacles in your way, different things stopping you from achieving those. And if you just kind of let it slide and keep, I quit this, I quit this, I quit this, you're never going to be successful. So it's going like, you know what? No, you know what? You can do it. You are good enough. You just maybe need to work a little bit harder.
Yeah. And the way we approach it is we approach each student as family. So it would be no different than what I would say to my own son than I would say to anybody else. So every now and then somebody will say, well, Johnny chose not to do this. Johnny's 5. He gets to choose what kind of donut he wants. He doesn't get to choose if not to go to school or not to do his homework. That's kind of how that works. As a parent, we got to think, no, this is good for you. You need to do this. Bottom line, period. And just like you don't let your kid just eat ice cream all day long. Once in a while, it's fine. But we as parents have to, we have to say, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah, the way I kind of look at it, whether you are a parent or for us as a martial arts instructor, you were kind of saying like, we're the root, and our students, our children are kind of the branches, and we kind of lift them up. Here, you can reach it. You know what? Oh, you got to work a little bit more, a little bit harder. And it's our goal to keep them grounded, but at the same time, allow them to learn and grow at the same time, if that makes sense, right?
It makes complete sense. We knew nothing about martial arts as a family. Like, none of us did it as kids. We just were like, I don't even know. We knew of it, but we didn't really know what it was. And I could not believe the feel and the impact, and just walking into your school. I even remember, I'm like, why do they call it school? I don't even know why it's a school. I don't get it. Now I'm like, oh my God, I get it. It's like school of life. It's all the things that you want your kids to know. Because as a parent, we all wonder, like, are our kids going to be okay when we're not here anymore and we can't look after them and we're not going to be on this earth? And every time Oliver walks through those doors, and even us, Eric and I take classes, we learn and grow as humans and parents. Just the way it's set up, and maybe we can dive in and talk about that, how the school got started. And did you sit down and go, okay, here's, the messages or the themes or what we really want the experience to be like, whether you're 6 or 66 or 86 in our school, here's what we want this experience to be like. Because it's really, maybe you guys, I hope you do know that, it's unique. It's really special. And I want to talk about that.
Well, we Ashley always wanted to open our own martial arts school. I was basically, I want to say like the manager of a different school. Ashley was also teaching at that school. And I did everything I did there that I do at our school. And Ashley wanted to open her own school.
When I was 8, I made the decision. My goal in life was to become a karate instructor. That was my goal. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. And you did.
So eventually,
yeah,
we didn't like the direction of where we were working. Not to be negative or anything like that. They had a different approach than we would have taken. So we decided to open our own school. It was kind of just like, went for it. It was like, we're going to do this. Let's do it 100%.
And everything kind of fell in place. Our location, it just like it was meant to kind of happen.
It was meant to be, because we actually put we actually found a different location at first and put our signed the thing and put our first and last payment in. And the next day, and then I handed in my resignation. And then the next day, the realtor called us back and said, no, we're going with a Curves
Curves.
Fitness instead because they're a brand name. So,
Both
you
of
know,
us were out of a job. We had no location, which we thought we did. And actually, my dad works at the gymnastics school beside where we are now. And he said, well, the place beside us came up for lease. Why don't you check it out? And
it was almost like it was meant to be. So we went there, everything worked out. We started our school, and our goal was, again, it was about being a family. We wanted to teach. We didn't want to just hire somebody to teach at our school and then go open another school and hire somebody to teach at that school and that kind of thing. We love teaching martial arts. We love seeing the growth in people and seeing their successes and helping them through whatever trials are going on. That's part of being a martial artist. That's what you're to give. And so when we did that, we were like, okay, we're opening. We're going to do the opposite of some of the industry. We're not going to have contracts. We're not going to make people sign 2-year contracts. And if they don't like it after 2 months, just keep taking their money. We can't do that. We wouldn't expect that from some. So martial arts is about respect. How can we show respect to our I want to say clients, but we say family, to our students? How can we show them respect? So it's our job. It's their job to be dedicated, and it's our job to help them
keep them
get
motivated.
there.
Yeah.
Keep them there. So we're not going to do contracts. We wouldn't hold somebody to it anyway. It's not like again, I'm not sending people to collections. Not that some people do that, but I'm never going to do that. So there's no point having a contract. We want integrity. So there's no fast tracking people. You will earn a black belt. Everyone earns their belts the same as everyone else, and everyone's an individual. So we look at them that way. We wanted to give students more than just punching and kicking. So we teach them about bully proofing. We teach them, the younger children, abduction proofing as an ongoing part. We don't just do it as a special seminar once in a while. We do that, absolutely. That up to community. We do that free to our community on a regular basis, where we give bully proofing seminars and stranger danger seminars. We do free women's self-defense seminars all the time. We want to give back to our community. And be a positive. We participate in the community parades and fairs, and we've always
charity.
And we always give everyone. People, my other friends in martial arts will say, why do you always give like 2 weeks or a month free to everybody to try it? And I go, because we believe in our program.
Yes.
I'm not going to charge to come try it. Oh, that's a perceived value. And I go, people can see past that. And people are smart in that. They look, come and try it. If you liked it, if you did it for a month and you go like, this is it for me, you're going to be a student for life. If you tried it and it wasn't for you, no harm, no foul. You got a chance to try it out. Maybe you'll say that to somebody else. Hey, go try these guys. They didn't, they're not pressuring me to join or anything like that. It wasn't for me. It'll be for you.
And it's important for us, for people to understand that martial arts is not a sport. It's not like, Chance does sports. He loves playing soccer and different things. Martial arts is a way of life. So it goes beyond our building. It goes beyond our school. That martial arts needs to spread throughout the community. That's what martial arts is, right? That's what becoming a black belt really means. And that's important for people to kind of understand.
Yeah, the word that keeps coming up is people. You lead with people. You grow people. Martial arts is the way that you do it, but it's you care about those people that come through the doors. And I think businesses sometimes start out with that in mind and they get lost along the way and they forget. And I think that you guys have done an amazing job of remembering it's the people. And I remember, Gord, the one time when Eric and I came a few minutes early to a class and we were chatting about the strike testing thing with Oliver, and then we were chatting about the school, and you said, our goal isn't to have hundreds of thousands of, people and locations, and you like that intimate nature of knowing your students, growing your people. And when you lead with people, referrals happen, and like you get good people in your doors when you take care of the people that are there and you nurture the people that are there. And that's another big fault maybe or myth in business, is that businesses are always trying to get more clients, increase the numbers, get more leads, and they forget about the current people and clients that they have.
Yeah, we always wanted to kind of never have more than a certain amount of students. If I don't know each student's name, we're too big. If Ashley and I went to a seminar once, and it was for a different martial arts school franchise opportunity. And they were just about how much money they could make, how many students they could pack into a single class. It didn't matter who taught. And like, it doesn't matter who teaches. You have to have instructors that care. So it's nice that if somebody is this level or that level, but if that person doesn't care about your child or you, if they're teaching you, it shows. All our assistant instructors who teach with us, ourselves, we care about each student. And that's one of our successes. Yeah. We didn't go in this with like a super business plan or anything like that. We knew that we're good at martial arts. We knew that we could teach this, and we knew that people liked what we did. And if we could do that and do it 100%, we kind of felt like the business would take care of itself. Of course, there's parts that we have to do, but if we're producing this quality and this level, the rest should fall into place. And that was kind of our goal.
Yeah. And I mean, not just us, but even I know you had mentioned with our other instructors, they're all people who we've trained, and it's not like, hey, do you want to be an instructor? Those people have come to us and go like, I want to be a karate instructor. How can I do it? How can I push myself? So we already know that they have the passion to spread what we want as business owners. So it's kind of cool to be able to see over time what we've kind of built in others to have that same passion for what we do. So
homegrown, and they buy into the vision and the mission, and that's unique. That's a unique style of leadership. And those are the businesses that are going to be around for the long haul. So let's talk about pandemic. So what happened with your brick and mortar business that serves people in small group, face-to-face, and now that was like, nope, got to shut her down for a bit. Tell me a bit about, did you shut her down or what happened there?
So when all this was going down, we've always lived our life in a pandemic because our son Chance has fibrosis. So way before this, there was always, hand sanitizer stations at the school, wash your hands. Nobody can come in when they're sick. We were, I'd even get the odd look when I would sit a child out from the parent because they were sick. I'm like, sorry, you can't take classes. We were like that from day one, even before Chance, because we're doing stuff that has contact. So you don't want to go to class with somebody who's got the flu. Like, why are you here?
Yeah, right.
Kind of like that. When the pandemic started, actually, before it was mandated by the government, we decided to close.
Out of respect for our families.
We kind of did the first week before we closed. Even we were doing like a non-contact thing where we weren't doing any touching. And I think you froze. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah. Oh,
hey, welcome back.
Okay, we're back. Okay, gotta love the internet.
I'm not sure it cut off.
Yes, so. I will take us back. Don't worry. Okay, so tell me about the pandemic. So first week, you kind of did the no contact. Yep.
Yeah, and then before the government term mandated us to close, we decided it was probably 3 or 4 days before that, we just said, we're going to close for the safety and health of all our families and students. So we decided to do that.
It was very surreal. It happened very quick.
Yeah.
And we weren't really sure how to react to it, right? It was like, what do you mean we got to close our school? We don't close our school other than holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we closed our school. The first thing we did was then we videotaped and recorded all the forms, all the curriculum, all the self-defenses, added a part to our website that students could go to and put in their password and download their curriculum so they could keep training. we didn't know if this is going to be for a couple of weeks, this will work. They still have access to it, where they can continue to train. And after about a week, though, we realized this might go on longer.
Yeah.
So that's when we have one of our students is a very tech savvy guy, and we were talking to him, and again, we're lucky to have who we have at our school. So he reached out to us and go like, look, this is one of the things you can do. And he talked with us. He spent about an hour with us talking and explaining how to do it. Because this was something we were actually looking into doing in the future, but we were just, you got to do it now.
Yeah.
So we kind of said, jump in full force. Our business is going to survive regardless, but what we wanted to do we wanted to make sure to give a sense of normalcy, to have some positivity, especially for the kids and adults, because we all stress out about things.
Yeah.
And so we looked at this like, rather than just keeping our business surviving, what can we do in a positive way to bring some kind of normalcy, some kind of positivity to everybody?
Yeah.
And likes doing the Zoom thing, we get that, but most people did, and most people are they're still progressing the way we're going to progress. We have students who are testing for their black belt. You're going to test one. I don't know how we're going to do it, but
we'll figure it out.
You're not waiting. You've been this dedicated. You've been this committed. We're not holding it off. You're going to test it some way, whether we do it live, allowed to, or online. We'll figure it out. And that was our goal. Our goal was to be as positive. And so we've been doing free seminars. We've had some of the world champions come for our students. We've done family trivia nights.
Yep.
We've done things just to have some fun, and just for the kids to see each other and connect. When they go to class, they can see each other practicing. Although it's on the computer, kids are really resilient, and they can kind of like, oh, this is cool, and this is different. So,
and I'm constantly getting emails and texts from our EMA families, thanking us. You know what? Thank you for, I'm tearing up again, but thank you for not just the normalcy, but the one mom put it, she goes, it gives our day a time of focus and discipline. You're ready in your uniform, you're focused, you're respectful, and the kids know that. And they said on, the adult side of it, it gives them a time to forget about doing homeschooling and forget about, whatever other stresses are going on, and focus on themselves. So it's kind of cool to get that feedback, right?
And the pandemic, other people in different ways. Since we've opened our school since day one, we've always had this policy where, for whatever reason, if somebody hit hard times, a parent got laid off or something like that, we've always reached out to them and said, Johnny's got to stop karate because the plant closed, or dad got laid off or whatever. And we've always said, no, Johnny's going to keep doing karate. And when you're back to where you are, or where you're comfortable, then you can start. And people go, oh, we got to pay back that. No, I don't care if it's 6 months. You're coming, and it's one more student. It makes no difference to us. But it's something positive in that student's life. We've done that with a few people for the pandemic, because again, people were being laid off and this, that, the other, and we're going to have to stop. You don't have to stop. We'd rather you keep coming. Because yes, we're a business, absolutely, but it's more than that. And if I'm teaching class anyway, you might as well come and get some positivity and work out and feel good.
And you've said it several times, positivity is the number one thing, right? Because there's not a lot of positive things going on in the world. And it's great to be able to be that light, be that provider of positivity to people. And to know that we can, at least make a difference in the lives of our own students, our own EMA family. To me, it makes me feel awesome. It makes me feel great.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better with things going on, right? To see people on there and working hard and having fun, and yeah.
When people's world gets turned upside down, which is a very real reality for a lot of people in this time, you go back to that soft landing or you go back to that knowing, and you guys and your school, it's not even just the school, it's you too as instructors and parents and teachers and mentors and human beings. And even, you know, Gord, you had your cousin, I think it was, right? That was the magician that did a, you know, thing. Yeah. It's like you went to the people that you knew. You're the soft landing. You're that structure.
As one parent put it, we're the comfort zone. We're the you know, your child bear that when you need, you know, something to like let it out on, you've got that teddy bear. And they said like, we're that teddy bear.
Yeah.
We're that, like, you know, where people can feel calm and comfortable. And
yeah, we've had more than one or two dads fall asleep on the couch in the waiting room. Like while their class is going on. You fell asleep, Mr. Johnson. It's just so comfortable here. It feels like a second home. And that's kind of what we were going for, to be honest.
Yeah. What do you think is the hardest thing about business, or the hardest thing about managing the kind of business that you manage?
One thing that's hard for me is I become so invested in a student's life that when they decide to not continue, it's very difficult, because you almost want to see where that child grows up to be, or, you know, what success stories these people have to share. So for me, Gord always knows that always hits me really hard.
Yeah.
And Gord's like, you know, we're always going to have some people who don't continue. I'm like, I know, but, you know, that person had no confidence and I helped build it, or, you know, their grades were bad and I helped improve it. And for me, that's the hardest part. And I know it's not really a business thing per se,
it is,
but that's the part of our business that I feel.
Yeah.
That, and I don't like asking people for money.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what's
Part
the
of
hardest? The hardest part, I don't know. Is
running a business,
paperwork, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like the parts of the running the business that, if you know, yeah, because sometimes people forget about that side of the business too. Is you gotta manage the books and have your marketing, and you know, all of that goes along with it as well. For sure.
We found out quickly we're not good at that. The books and things like that. So we hired a bookkeeper.
Yes.
That was important.
That was the stuff that
because we didn't have that at first, and that was a mistake. So if I was to tell anyone else opening a business, make sure you have a good bookkeeper. Make sure you have a real accountant, a proper accountant who will do your stuff 100%.
And I think for us, what we've learned is we don't always like asking for help. And I think lately in the last 6 months, we've been accepting help from others. So like our friend who's amazing with marketing and online stuff, and he's always made the offer, but we never really wanted to feel like I don't want to say that we didn't need help, but you know, we always kind of thought, no, it's ours. It's our thing we need to take care of. And I think being able to reach out for help for those people who do offer something that we're not good at.
Yes.
I think from that one student about marketing has changed our outlook on marketing for our business, and the opportunities at our website. Like I just revamped our website back in September. So our website now that you see is something that I created, which I never thought I'd be able to do. But with the help of others, we've been able to, I think, create a more successful business, and, you know, people want to help.
Yeah. As a business owner, as a martial arts, we've had to wear a lot of hats. So we have to be a counselor. We have to be a teacher. We have to be a janitor, a keeper. There's so many different hats you have to wear as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Sometimes you do need to ask for help, but it's I will say it's 100% worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah,
to see a child smile, to see somebody, even an adult reach a goal they didn't think they would ever do.
Yeah.
And
I'm always really thankful that I have Gord to do it with, because like it wouldn't work if there was only one of us.
Well,
it's who we are as a package that makes our school different. And there's times where I get super stressed and overwhelmed, And Gord goes, you know what? I'll take that part. You don't like that part? I'll do that part. And then there's things that I have strength with, right? That we kind of play off each other sometimes.
Yeah, we had a lot of people initially tell us, you guys can't work together. If you're getting married and working together is,
a lot of people said that.
We like being with each other all day long. We enjoy it.
Yeah, Eric and I are the same. We do our business together, and people told us the same. You can't parent together. You can't play together. You can't be married together. You can't work together. And we're like, it works for us. For some people, like you maybe couldn't do that with your significant other, but our relationship is different. And are there ever times when it seems too big or too much?
Of course.
Yeah.
But I cherish every second that I have with my family. And people have asked us during this whole COVID thing, when it's over, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Like, I just want to be with my friends and my family and my students. That's what I miss the most.
Yeah.
I miss actually seeing people in real life, as opposed to like, which restaurant do I want to go to? That's not on my mind at all.
Yeah.
Right.
It's being around the people that I care about.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Does Chance think it's cool that mom and dad own a martial arts school and do all this stuff, or what's his take on it?
He does, I think.
Hey,
do you want us to bring him?
Yeah. Let's
Chance,
get him
come here,
on
please.
if he's there.
I think he thinks it's cool. Let me grab him.
He's deep in a Roblox game right now. So.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's the one thing that keeps him quiet for a bit.
Right? I know. It's so hard a lot of times when you both have to get on calls. We feel that same pain.
Oh, he's a good boy, though. He's awesome.
Hi, Chance. How are you?
Cool.
You're cool?
I saw you swimming in a pool the other day. Was it warm or was it cold?
Pretty warm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool hair.
He likes to for the camera clearly.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's cool that mommy and daddy own a karate school?
It is.
It is cool.
I love it.
You love it.
And you
Yeah.
love it. Well, we love it too. We're so happy with your mom and dad. Cool.
Email.
You're yeah. What's your next belt?
Purple.
Purple. My favorite color, right?
Black. Red.
Yeah.
He's telling his favorite colors. Okay.
Right.
He does.
Bye.
So cute.
He can. I don't know if he really realizes the difference, like that karate is work for mommy and daddy. I think he sees it as a fun activity, like something that he loves being at the karate school. He doesn't complain. He doesn't complain about going to the karate school because he just thinks, that's what it is.
Yeah.
When we started doing the online classes at home, he just thinks it's, oh, look, the karate school's in my house now. Like, he just thinks it's cool, right? So
Yeah, he learned karate is like when he was little, we'd bring him in the cart thing, the handle, the seat,
carrier
and put him on that and teach
classes, right? So
And as he got a little bit older, we had the little portable playpen. He'd get thrown in there.
yeah. So he sees it as like his home, right? He doesn't see it as, mommy and daddy's work and then there's our house. He sees it as that's just part of our home. That's part of our life. So
yeah. And I think that's such a huge message now as well for parents and business owners. And our kids are going to remember the way that we frame it. Like Oliver is going to remember pandemic as forts in the living room, playing tag in the park, water balloon fights, martial art. He's not going to remember. That's what he's going to remember. And it's what we frame it as that our kids, all the stuff we stress about, it doesn't even matter sometimes when you look at the things kids remember, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, next spring, going to be going like, how come we're not staying home for...
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. Oliver was like, school is like jail. Like, is it that bad? He's like, I don't want to go back. It's jail. I'm like, oh boy. Grade 2 is going to be a tough transition in September if they go. I know. There's beauty in all of this.
And I think the families that are kind of keeping, I don't want to say keeping the pandemic positive, but trying to keep positivity in their house, have seen it a little differently. Like for us, we've seen it in more of a positive way, like time with our family. We're still able to teach online to our students. I love spending all day with Chance. I mean, he was homeschooled anyway, so for us, it wasn't too different of a transition. But, you know, he thinks it's awesome. Mommy and Daddy are home all day to play with him.
He was home mainly because of cystic fibrosis, putting him in a daycare. That's why we brought him to the karate school all the time. Putting him in a daycare, putting him in kindergarten where kids are sick a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a normal, healthy kid, that's okay. But if you're somebody with CF, that's cat hair. That's not okay. Because the more stuff gets into your lungs, it's permanent, right? So we decided to homeschool him until he was old enough to understand he's got to be careful around other people.
Mm-hmm.
Now with this pandemic, not sure when he'll go to school. I'm a little more nervous, but
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. And you guys, your hours are probably different because in your school, you are the constant a lot. Like you teach, I would say you teach majority of the classes, right? Like you are the constant there a lot of times.
Yeah,
when we first opened, we both taught every single day. We
Every
went
class.
together, we left together. And when Chance came along and one of us had to stay home, it's sort of every other day with one of our other instructors.
So if you look at our schedule, it goes like Gord, myself. I teach Friday, he teaches Saturday mornings. So we alternate days so that we have what we call our work days and our Chance days.
Yeah.
To try to make a balance. And like I said, our team of instructors that we work with are amazing, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
You know, when we first moved here to Brantford, our neighbors didn't really get to meet us till the summer, and we'd see this black car leave, and the garage door they would leave, and it would come back late at night. The garage door would close. We thought you guys were vampires or something. We weren't sure.
We thought you were Batman going to fight crime all day.
Yeah. But I think being able to balance ourselves every other day, I don't know. I find our hours good. Sometimes when they're long on the weekends, when we only have Sundays as like a family where neither of us are at work.
Yeah.
So sometimes if we're, traveling to a tournament or got special events or things like that. But I mean, I've been teaching martial arts since I was 14. So work hours have always been from 4 till 9, right? That's how it typically operate. So I personally don't really know any different.
And we have like over 50 years combined teaching.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a lot of wisdom in those life lessons. Oh my goodness. You guys.
We were making a joke because somebody goes like, oh, one of our friends goes, oh, can you tell us all the jobs you've had? And I go, sure. I taught gymnastics. I babysat when I was little, and I'm a martial arts instructor. And they're like, yeah, but what else did you do? I go, my job started at 14 as a martial arts instructor, and that's all I've known.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Ashley finishes McMaster University and opens a karate school.
Well, that's what I wanted to do.
That was your vision. You had that vision as an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And you saw it through. And I think this is a good time for people to go back even to those visions. Even if it's not completely changing your career path, those things that meant something to you when you were young, are you currently pursuing that or doing that, in your business or your life now? I love that.
Yeah. That's one thing, I always try to teach Chance is right now when he grows up, he wants to be a Sith trooper. And I keep telling him, for sure, you have to be a Sith trooper. Now let's think of the goals in order for you to become a Sith trooper. He goes, well, I need to do karate and I need to be nice to people. And, I need to learn about space because they go into space. So it gives them a fun way to look. And you know what? If you want to be a Sith trooper, be a Sith trooper. Great. Very nice. Thank you.
Totally. I love it.
I will say that Ashley is one of the most passionate, driven people I've ever met. And I don't think evolution martial arts would have existed without her. I'm lucky to be with her, and she is, again, I said, a very passionate but driven personality. So one of the reasons she's a world champion.
Some people call it stubborn.
Yes, a little bit of that. A little bit. And yeah, I'm again, very driven personality person. And I think that's one of the things I was attracted to you by. We were always friends. I've had a lot of relationships, but I never thought I would get married to somebody who was my friend. That I'll just say that. And it was perfect. We invited all our students, everyone who was at our karate school at the time. We went and got married in Punta Cana, and we invited everybody we knew. And we had
invited all our students to our wedding.
60 families on the beach with us in Punta Cana.
Wow.
Half of them were our students. So that's kind of how we.
Very cool.
It's awesome.
I love that. So listeners, I hope you picked up on these themes that we talked about in this last hour of leading with people, growing people, pushing people, and not letting them give up on the things that matter to them. The dynamic that it takes to parent and to be husband and wife and to have a school together, and the way that they complement each other and communicate with each other, ask for help so they can stay in their lane and do the things that they do best, and dream again, and dream and know that you got this. I love how you were talking about with the black belt and the belt and the testing. You're like, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to figure it out.
Yep.
You're going to figure it out. This, to me, this is so much about mindset and everything that you do. And I think you two are shining examples of that. Of that. And I'm just, I'm so honored to know you. I'm so honored to have our family at your school. It's made such a huge impact in Eric, myself, and Oliver. And I feel like we're just like scratching the surface and getting started. Like this is just the beginning. And
we're very thankful to have you as part of our EMA family. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have those dreams, and we wouldn't be able to do this together, right? It's because of our EMA families that we're able to overcome some of these big challenges in life.
Yeah, we're the one who was honored to have you at our school, not the other way around. We take everybody at our school. It's a huge responsibility to have that person at our school. That's how we look at it. So the honor is all ours. Your family is amazing.
Chance just asked if he could do a play date with Oliver.
Yes.
Heck yes. Oliver would love that. Oh my gosh, yes. Absolutely. Let's make that happen once we can. And then people, how can they learn about, is the website best? How if they want to learn about your school and the family? evolutionmartialarts.ca.
That's the best way to connect with us. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and things like that. But if you go to our website, I think you can connect to those as well.
And see pictures of our EMA families and all the fun events and things like that we do to make our family, to make it a community.
Yes. And even if you're not local or you can't, I know you guys fundraise the heck out of stuff for cystic fibrosis. Every little bit helps there. Every little bit.
This month is a very special month to us because this month is Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. Our main fundraising walk would have been this Sunday. The pandemic, it's all virtual, of course, but we do actually plan in the future for those people who aren't near our school but do like kind of what we do. We're hoping to continue online training, do online courses and online Zoom classes for those people who want to join us that are outside of our physical.
I love that.
We've had a few students who've moved away and they weren't able to find the martial arts school with the same feel. And I know a few of them were like, oh, why don't you move here and teach? We can't do that. But now we can.
Yeah.
Now you can. That is the power and the beauty of online. Your message can spread. And listeners, this is a family you want to be a part of. I can say that from the bottom of my heart. These are some of the best, kindest, most amazing people you'll ever have in your life. So please go check them out. Ashley, Gord, Chance, if you're still out there and back there, and Baby Bear. What's the cat's name again? Baby Bear? Or
Baby Bear.
Baby Bear?
Yeah, Baby Bear.
Oliver does the same. He like throws the cat in every picture whenever we're doing anything or any call or anything. So I totally get it. Just love to your whole family, and thank you for giving your goodness and these pearls of wisdom to all of our listeners across the world. And listeners, thank you for being here. I know time is something that you either have a whole heck of a lot of right now and you're choosing to tune in, or you don't have any and you're choosing to make this a priority. So I want to honor you for being here and tuning in. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time on the Lisa Pezik Show.